Well, I walked into the garage this morning. Well, it's a garage, actually a workshop. Seriously, it's a workshop. Anyway, I walked in and I thought, what can I do today? And I thought, oh, I know, I'll do a video. I'll do a little video of the pyrography tools that I use and the pens and the nibs. And when I thought about that for a minute, I went back in the house and put my coat on because it's chuffing cold out here. So just give us a minute to get set up and we'll get cracking. All right, lads.
So I've turned more to the side on this one so as you can get the profile. I mean, that is my best. Yeah, that is my best side. So let's get on with it then. So first of all, we'll show you the the Peter Childs machine. I've had this about, I don't know, 14, 15 years, somewhere around there. Not been any trouble at all. What can we say? On-off switch. Yeah. And that is your heat control. 0 to 10. These are the two connectors. And I suppose I should say that this machine is about 120 quid, somewhere around there, from Turner's Retreat. The temperature goes up to about 1100 degrees on this one. How you fix the pens, business end, those two things, and they literally just plug in, switch on. In fact, what I can do, I can put that in, can't I? Switch it on, see it's lit up, and I can increase or decrease the temperature. There's the pen, or one of the pens. I've actually got about 4 of these pens. 2 of the old style and 2 of the new style. Let's switch that off. Plug that out. Or unplug it, should say. So there's this pen. Nice and slim. This is the old style. Nice and slim. 2 screws there. Same on the other side. You unscrew them, put your new nib in, tighten them up, plug it in, switch it on, and adjust your temperature. Quite like this. There are no vents in this one, actually. If I show you the new one, or the newer one, I should say. I know it's probably been out a few years now. Can you see that? You'll notice it's much thicker. That one. Same size basically, but thicker, and it's got this finger protection to stop your fingers going down onto the hot parts. So you have this also has vents in it. See one there. There's nothing much between it, to be honest. If anything, I rather like the old one because it is that bit slimmer. Nice to use in the hand. Really, I've got nothing against this. It's fine. It does what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything else we can say about that, really. We'll go into nibs later, but the next one I'll show you, the next machine I've got is the razor tip. So this is the razor tip. It's made in Canada as opposed to the Peter Childs one made in the UK by Robert Sorby. This is the razor tip. I don't know what this one's actually called. I know it's really it's the starting size, as opposed to the other machine, the Peter Childs. It only has one connection point. It's the pen. Where is it, Chris? What have you done? Oh, here it is. That's the connection, and that literally goes in there, and that's it. There's your on switch, and there is your temperature control. Again, 1 to 10. This apparently gets up to about 1400 degrees, so it gets a little bit hotter. That really doesn't bother me at all, quite frankly. Well, what you can do with this, the difference between the two pens is if you look at, get out of the way, you look at this one, it's even slimmer than the Peter Child one. And, get it right, Chris, it's got a vent there. It's got one on the other side as well. And they've got a sponge. It's not a really soft sponge, it's a hard sponge. Again, to protect you from the heat of the pen. So, nice to hold. It really is nice to hold. I know this bit's thicker, but it is spongy. And again, the difference between the two is you literally pull that out, pull your pen out, and you get your new one, okay, and you plug it in. And the ends are interchangeable, so it doesn't matter which end goes on which. What else? Change the where you change your nibs is exactly the same. 2 screws. Pop your old one out, pop your new one in, tighten them up, turn it on, adjust your temperature. Quite like this one. Can't say I've got a preference between the Peter Child and this one. They both do what they say on the can. So I don't know really, no preference. It's purely personal. What else can we say about this one? I've got 2 pens of this type. What I didn't go into, I suppose, is you can buy pens that have a fixed tip. So in other words, there's none of this changing the whole pen. It's got one nib fixed to the end. So when you want to change pens, you literally pull that out, put your new one in, and you're away. Obviously, the fixed tip are a lot dearer. And to my way of thinking, if I drop this on the floor, I will bend that or damage it in some way, and I just take it out and put another one in. With the fixed tip one, if you drop that and you bend the end of it, it's finished. The pen is no good because you can't do anything with it. I believe you can send it back to Canada and they will fix it for you, probably at a cost. There is things to be said that the fixed tip pens are good. There's a variety of pens with fixed tip nibs of different designs, which is great. I prefer this one. It's cheaper and I can make my own nibs. And I think probably that's what we'll talk about next, the wire, the nibs. So that's the razor tip. I hope that's been useful. See you in a minute. So let me tell you about the wires that I use. I get them off either eBay or Amazon. Okay, you can get them from Peter Child's. It's more expensive, quite honestly. When you buy them off the internet, you get them in reels. Okay, and the wires I use mainly are 26 SWG. SWG stands for standard wire gauge. 26 is the thinnest and 20 is the thickest. That's what I use, and I don't use the 20 very often. I like to use a 24 or a 25, but if I narrow it down even more, I use the 25 more than anything. So this is how it comes. Okay. And what I've done is I've marked the wires, because it can be difficult to tell the difference. That's a 22 and that's a 24. So 22, that one, is a bit more difficult to bend than the 24, because the 24 is thinner. Right, so the lower the number, 26, is the thinner, 20 is the thicker. Hope I've made that clear. Let's put that in. Oh, let me show you some more of those, can't I? Yeah, 26. And that one is 24. And that one is a really thick one. That's the 20. Let me show you that. I'll show you the nibs in a minute. It may not look much different on there to you, but it really is. That is a lot more difficult to bend, and it takes a lot longer to heat up because it's thicker. What else can I say about that? I don't use this very often. Like I said, I like to use the thinner ones, 25, 24, somewhere around there. I'll put that away after. I hope I've made that clear. Right, so these are my nibs, the ones that I make. And you see them, and I've marked in the bottom of here what they are. So when I've taken it off, when I've taken an old one off there, I put it back where I got it, so as I know that's the size. So I've got 26, 24, 22, 20, and I've even got an 18, which I don't use. Let me get these out. These are ones that you buy, but you can't really make these, to be honest. Don't know whether you can. See that? Yeah. So there's different types. There's a that's a ball one. It's got a ball welded on the edge of it, on the end of it. Yeah, there's no. It's like a skew, that one. That one there. Difficult to show you, actually. I should have practiced this, shouldn't I? And what else is there? Oh, there's a shader. Somewhere. I can get it out. Yeah. There's a shader. So they're thicker ones that you can buy. I think I bought them at Harrogate. Probably about 24 quid for 5 or 6, somewhere around there. Again, I don't use them. Not really. I like to work with the 24 or 25 SWG wire. Put them away. Where is it? There's a shader that you can buy from. Yeah, there you go. From Bernard Retreat, a spoon shader. This shape like so. You can actually make these, but it's a bit more difficult to make them because they are concave there and the back is convex, so that when you are shading, you're probably just using the center or the side, depending on how you hold it. We might go into that a bit later on. So there's the shaders. Now, fitting a new one. It's literally a case of undoing that. Same on the Peter Child machine, exactly the same. Take the old one out, fish your new one in, lay it inside there, just hold them in place. And tighten the screws up. And literally that's all there is to it. And there you're good to go. You've got to make sure that's reasonably tight. Don't tighten it too much, because what can happen is you can push the posts in together, and they shouldn't touch. They should always be apart. Shouldn't touch. It does happen now and again. It's worth sometimes taking these out and taking the screws off and just giving it a gentle wire brush to get rid of any carbon that's built up, because that can slow it down, slow your pen down heating up, and you'll not be happy. Keeping these clean as well. That's another thing. I use a little brass brush. Hang on, I'll go and get it and I'll show you. I didn't plan on that. Just a mo. Here we go. We're back again. Should have planned that, shouldn't I? Wire brush, nib, and I just gently brush the carbon off. Another method is I've got a piece of aluminium, thin aluminium. I've just cut it out there. Another way of doing it is to do that. Scrape it over the end of it, just gently scrape it, turn it over, do the same again. You can use sandpaper if you want to, but you've got to think, if you use sandpaper, you are probably reshaping it. What I sometimes do is I use a 600 grit sandpaper, and you can clean it, but don't forget you're wearing it away. But you can also shape. You can work that to a point if you want to, by doing that side to side. You can also heat that up, put it on a piece of metal, and you can hammer that out ever so gently. I don't know. No, I don't think I've. Oh, I did on that one, yeah. I turn this one on its side. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is, yeah. But you can't see this properly. There. I hammered out the end of it while it was warm. So that has made that really quite thin on the end. Not very good, is it? No, sorry, I don't think I can really show you a better shot. So that bit there is really thin. I hammered it out. And then what I did was, that was when I got the sandpaper and I smoothed it down. Because obviously if there's any ridges in that, you're not going to get a clean burn. You're going to get a jagged burn. So it wants to be quite smooth. Right, we'll put those bits away. That covers that. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for showing you the nibs. Told you about the wire. Oh, tell you what, I'll show you how you make a nib then, shall I? Yes, Chris. Oh, all right then. I will. Just hang on a moment then. I'll go in there, or is it that way? Anyway, I'll go in there or there, and I'll get me pliers and I'll show you how we make one. Again, I should have been prepared. Sorry. See you in a minute. Right, here we go. Making a nib. I bet you this doesn't work because I'm recording it. Right. Piece of wire. Cut it about 1.5 inches, approximately. Okay, 1.5 inches. Pliers, thin nose ones. Go. Find the middle of it. Okay, find the middle of your wire. And bend it over. Bend it down. Okay, suppose you end up with that, which you can't see. Or can you? Right. What I then do is put, because the wire twists very easily, I put that in there. There you go. Really close to the end and hold that tight. Then squeeze, gently squeeze that bit together. So you end up with that. Okay, you can squeeze it a little bit more so as they're a bit closer. It depends what, I've twisted it. There you go. That's one of the dangers, especially with the thinner wire. So if I move it down a wee bit more, hold it tight and try again. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. That leaves me with that. Okay, so what I need to do now is shape that to go inside the binding posts. So if I turn that, straighten it, and the same on the other side, bend it inwards, I end up with that shape. So make sure that both ends are the same size. You don't really want one longer, wrong one. You don't really want one longer than the other. So just trim it off. So you end up with that. I'll get used to this one day. Yeah, can you see what you end up with? And then they will literally just go into it. Well, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Don't mess about. Take that one off. A bit more. Okay, take that one out. There's the new one. New one in. Hold it in place. Tighten up. Ah, mistake. There you go. Try again. Hold it in place. And the other one up. And there you have it. There's your nib. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I left the bit in about the bending the nib just to show you that it really doesn't go as planned every time. Mistakes are made. Very thin wire, quite easy to bend out of shape. But overall, it was okay. I hope you found it useful. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.